Good day, everyone. Ali Safi here from Safi Financial Network. Today is July 12th, 2024. Here is another weekly edition. What a week. So we kind of like expecting this sell-off is coming, and also still we're waiting for more sell-off or volatility, I should say, down the road for the next few weeks. Probably we will have uptick and then downtick. So still we are kind of like in the last phase of rally, as I said before, and I believing still we are in a rally phase. So even if you see some sharp sell-off yesterday, as I mentioned yesterday video, it was kind of like a light volume session. And the sell-off was not broad-based sell-off. It was just on technology stocks. And you saw that semiconductors that just bounced back up today as well. However, they just lost their gain mostly for the entire session, but still they were positive. And indexes, they just came up with a positive candle today. But again, last hour of the trading session, specifically for Nasdaq, that was a sharp sell-off as well. So that was kind of like this bounce was expected, as it was kind of like a technical reaction to yesterday's sell-off. And again, sell-off after early session bounce was kind of like a technical. So we are going to cover this in this video, but before we are getting to kind of like a typical charts analysis, let me share my screen for two trades that I've done this week, and one of them still is open. So this is my um, this is my first trade, which is Tesla. As you see here, this one is in my Telegram channel, which is free for everyone. So feel free to join. And this is a Safi Financial Network in Telegram. So if you have a Telegram platform, make sure go to this one, because this is pretty good and unique, kind of like a platform. By the way, so we just got into short position on Tesla. I believe that was the July 9th. So here's the date. And we just had an uptick after that. But yes, yesterday we had a sharp sell-off, and today, although Tesla just managed 3% positive, but early session we got hit our first target, which is a fantastic, like almost a $27 downside just for 3 days. That's a fantastic swing trade. And also another one I want to show you, just that we just opened it today, was here, Nasdaq. So we just got into Nasdaq short position as well. So this is NDX, Nasdaq. So the level that we got into 20,502, and the first target was a 20,300, which Nasdaq just go to 20,303. So just at 3 points to my first target within an hour. So that was kind of like a marvelous trade. Still, we are in profit for those ones who has it. Make sure just they're risk-free and let it go for these targets, and this is gonna be damn good. So this is kind of like the service that I have free for everyone, like this service for YouTube as well. So you can just get some analysis as well in my YouTube channel as well. All right. So let me move on to the chart. Before we are getting to the Nasdaq, why I did get into short position in Nasdaq specifically at this level. So as you see here, here is the hourly chart first. So this is a very, very short term time frame. And it goes down and breaks through this important demand area. And this bullish consolidation failed. This is a pivot for this bullish consolidation, middle of this wide range bar. So if you just put a Fibonacci level here from this top to this bottom, so 6.61.8 until 78%. Actually, this is kind of like the sweet spot for the reversal. And I just narrow it down, and I noticed that potentially market doesn't have enough momentum to get into 78% because of this supply area breakout. So middle of this wide range bar, 61.8, fantastic, right? So we just got into 20,500, just below of that one, to just make sure that. So for I should say, like 2 hours, we were kind of like flirting around in this area, but here is the last candle right now still, and the market just going all the way down, pretty close to my first target, as I said. So this is kind of like a pretty clean and neat signal that everyone who are member in our Telegram group, as I said, this is very, very free. It is not $1 or something. I'm not collecting your credit card or something like that. It's just a good a tool for me to just give you updates about the intraday market. So yeah, so we are pretty good. We are happy about our trades this week. All right, let's move on to S&P 500 and weekly analysis as usual for the weekly edition on Friday. So we just got, here is, let me zoom here. We just got a higher shadow here in our weekly chart here. So this chart, this is a weekly S&P 500. As you see here, we are kind of like overstretched, overbought. Not a bad candle overall. Still positive, still green, but we see that this is kind of like a higher shadow. We saw higher shadow. It doesn't have like any meaning that we are getting to the sell-off next week. Still, I'm just, as I said at the beginning of this video, so if you are kind of like at the beginning of this kind of like very important topping phase for a market. So we can see some kind of like a downside, then getting back to the rally. So still, there is going to be a potential scenario for new all-time high by September. There is going to be a potential scenario. I would say this is going to be less likely, but if that happens, we shouldn't be surprised. But this is kind of like the process of the topping phase for the market prior election, I should say. This is going to be a very, very tricky time for lots of investors and traders. Whenever we get this divergence from SMA 20, this is kind of like a parabolic move. We are getting above this previous demand area and also breakout. So we need to just to get back nicely and sharp, something like this, which happens just the beginning of this year. So this can happen and it can go down very, very nicely. So sharp sell-off is going to give us good buying opportunities. So we're waiting for that one. I'm not sure if we can get something like this pattern like last year. So this is a great bull flag here. If we get some sharp sell-off, something like a bull flag here again, which is going to stretch all the way to, I should say, October, November, prior election. Whoever comes to that mean, I should say, market after that would be bullish because market doesn't like uncertainty. But right now, I should say we are kind of like in a choppy phase, consolidation or sell-off in a weekly chart for a bigger picture. So just to stay on the side if you don't have money, because there are lots of good opportunities coming down the road, I should say. And myself and my VIP subscribers, we are kind of like allocating cash. We're increasing our cash position to make sure that we have a good money to deploy in the market when it's the time. All right. We'll see how it goes. Here is stochastic momentum and all the other indicators. As you see here, we are kind of like a huge divergence between these two highs here in a weekly chart. And also this one confirming with a daily chart as well. So whenever we see this, the market is due for a corrective move. And this correction can go all the way down to 5,490. That's going to be still healthy correction. And we are within this a bull market. And stochastic wise, we are just getting into this area as well. So if we get to oversold condition in a weekly basis, that would be a fantastic buying opportunity. So I'm just waiting for that one again. For those ones who are familiar with my style, they know that I'm a very patient person. I am giving you everyday analysis, but I'm not looking for 1 day or 2 days trades. Sometimes I'm sitting in position for 6 months, like another one. I just want to show you here, PAT, which is Pan American Silver. We got it $13 last year. So right now we are in a good profit. We will get to that one. But as I said, we should be patient down the road. We are going to have lots of good buying opportunity as long as we are above this pivotal point, as long as we are above this trend line and this pivotal point at the same time. We are in a bull market. Shouldn't be worried about it. And this correction is very, very natural prior election. And right now we are just seeing this sell-off is happening to this area. So we should see some kind of like a divergence. If we see a divergence with IMI as well, that would be kind of like a scenario. But I believe that based on these two indicators, which is MACD and RSI, and also price action and cycle. The bottom line is cycle. When I just combine all these factors together, I understand that we are kind of like at the same scenario like last year. So we can see some kind of like a choppy, sloppy, stressful situation for all traders and investors, but giving us a good buying opportunity. Moving on to S&P daily chart. So here's the daily chart. And as you see here, in a daily chart, we just got a very nice divergence here in MACD. In MACD, we are seeing divergence. Stochastic, we just got a bear reversal confirmed today as well. IMI is in very huge divergence as well. So RSI doesn't show divergence, so we can uh, ignore this one. But at the same time, we see some kind of like a rejection. This is kind of like an obvious rejection from this all-time high. So today, again, market hit new nominal all-time high. So even yesterday was sell-off. Today, we just got hit a new nominal all-time high early session, but coming down sharply after that. So sellers still took control. I know it managed positive, but I believe that if we get below today's low on next week, let's say Monday, Tuesday, then SMA 20 doesn't help. Probably it's going to give us some bounce, and then we can see a sell-off again to this important area, which is the breakout level and the way that I'm looking for. So this is kind of like a daily bottom, which is going to be 100 a moving average. Some people just relying on this. I don't, but I just put it for references and very, very last tool to see if this one helps. But based on the demand area, we have lots of demand area, good breakout level here. So this is going to be a good demand area as well. So as I said, 52 to 52.50, that's going to be the levels that I'm looking for a good buying opportunity, and also the target for the sell. Moving on to Nasdaq, which was kind of like a leading on the upside and also to the downside as well. So Nasdaq weekly chart, we got doji bar. So this is very, very important because in S&P, we didn't get doji bar. We managed with a positive candle, but for Nasdaq, this is kind of like a doji, kind of like a gravestone doji at the top. So, and also red bar as well. After last week's surge, which is exhaustive candle or exhaustion, moved to the upside. This is kind of like price is exhausted basically. And this week we just got to new all-time high, coming back down. Can't manage that new all-time high. So we can see if Nasdaq goes below this important consolidation pivot, so we can easily go down to 18,600 to 18,300 based on the weekly basis. So that is still in a bullish momentum. So there is nothing wrong if we get to the downside. I believe we can go lower even to 17,000. Let's say 500. So if 17,500 is coming to play, coming to this important pivot, and also this is very, very important line, which is SMA 43 in a weekly basis. And this is very, very important. As long as we are above this moving average, we are kind of like a bullish long term. Moving on to daily chart. So daily chart, I know we had a sharp sell-off exactly on the level or levels that I was predicting. Today, we didn't manage new all-time high. So for S&P 500, we managed a new all-time high, but for Nasdaq, we couldn't get into a new all-time high, and a sharp sell-off after that. If it is going to be a drop, a drop, that would be kind of like a very interesting session on Monday. So we should see if there is a drop on Monday, so we can see this continuing to the downside. Potentially 19,000 is going to be down the road. So we'll see how it goes. But stochastic wise, we just got a bear reversal as well today. RSI is getting out of overbought condition, and MACD is just going down as well. So this is a huge divergence. Weekly chart confirming this, and I should say big techies along with semiconductors, we will see some ugly days potentially next week as well. So they're kind of like a topped or at the beginning of the topping phase right now. Moving on to Dow Jones or the US 30. So Dow, fantastic. Hit new all-time high, exactly what we have spoken before. No surprise for us. And this is the level that I was talking for a long time. So as soon as we touched it, just got rejected. Nice, right? Very nice. So Dow Jones hit new nominal all-time high, coming down today, still managed positive candle. I should say this is due to good earnings for banks, and also we are at the earnings session for a season for quarter 2. So usually quarter 2 is not bad quarter, but if we get a bad quarter 2 price action, I should say everyone needs to be careful because quarter 3 is going to be the ugliest quarter seasonally, which is coming September, October. So that's why September, October, everybody's scratching their head. What is going on with the market? So basically quarter 3 is not good, but right now, I should say the quarter 2 is started earnings season, and banks, they just came up with a good earning. However, they didn't manage well today. But we'll get to those ones. Dow is strongly going higher. There are some heavy value names actually pushed higher price, especially healthcare. I believe that these days are kind of like a hedge for those investors. If a market goes down, they're just piling money into healthcare, and healthcare are beaten down, oversold, and that's why there are good kind of like opportunity to hedge their money. So this consolidation break out nicely, but today candle, I should say, we are seeing a top information in Dow Jones as well. So if we get some more confirmation, I should say Dow hit the top and we can go down again to back test this area. Divergence obvious between these two pivots in MACD, but it's not kind of like a confirmed with RSI and stochastic. Divergence obvious, but we are getting into another overbought condition. If we get a bear reversal, I should say, this is crazy. This one can go down again another time for a great buying opportunity on a daily chart. So we'll see how it goes. Moving on to gold, which managed negative today. So gold after yesterday breakout, everyone just got excited. But I should say gold still can manage it to the higher price. This is kind of like a head and shoulder everyone's referring to, which is not that clean and neat because this shoulder, we have a neckline, which is weird. And this price action is weird as well. Everyone's referring to this breakout, which I was referring before. And I believe still we can go higher to this 2490, 2500 for a final surge, and after that we can just manage it lower. I don't know what's going to be the catalyst, but fundamentally, but we can see some kind of like a topping phase here based on my cycles, which is 14 week. If you go to 14 weeks cycle, you will see that every single time when we are getting to the 14 month cycle, every time we are just seeing the gold topped goes down to consolidation or a bigger correction. So this 14 months is going to end in July. So this July could be a topping phase for gold and silver. Moving on to silver, which managed lower today very badly. So 2% downside, 66 points to the downside, still a bullish consolidation. Nothing wrong, but today candle was ugly. As long as we are above this 20, I should say 30. So as long as we are above 30, we should be fine. So we have 80 cents above. We should be okay. But if it goes below this, I should say everyone needs to be careful because that's going to be a false breakout and we can get to the lower low or even lower low, which is less likely right now. Don't talk about it right now because we didn't get any confirmation. This is kind of like a bull flag that we are seeing. If on Monday we see another positive flat bar, Tuesday positive, this is paving its way for a higher price, even taking out this pivot, which I think the second scenario is coming to play. Moving on to crude, which topped for me, actually. So crude is, after 2 days bounce, we see some kind of like another drop today, pretty solid drop. So if it goes down, that would be a fantastic head and shoulder, and we can go down, test this area. So for crude, I should say crude is top, and you can see within energy stocks because crude had a marvelous rally, energy stocks didn't. So this is kind of like a warning sign for crude. Moving on to Bitcoin, individual names. Bitcoin managed a $62 up today, but a doji bar, nothing spectacular, and also sellers to control more. After 2 days surge, 2 days shooting a star, and here is the doji bar. Still bear flag, to be honest, for me, and it can go lower as well. So stay tuned for this one. Lower prices coming for Bitcoin. Ethereum, another doji bar here. This is the same thing. I know better structure than Bit, but overall picture is negative. So Ethereum, if it goes below this, I would say it can go easily to 23 to 2400 down the road. Bond yield, sharp sell-off today. So bond yield is getting to an important level. Folks, keep an eye on this, because if it goes below this trend line, which is 4.40%, then bond yield is gonna crash to sub 4%, which bring Federal Reserve under pressure that they need to cut the rate sooner than September even. So that is very interesting, because when unemployment is spiking, it's gonna spike very fast, and everyone is just keep an eye on this. And the potential recession is coming sooner than later, the one that we expected. I don't think we are heading into recession this year. Next year maybe, but this is kind of like a need. Bond or treasuries spiking higher, inverse correlation with bond yield 1.35% to the downside, treasuries goes higher today, 40%. VIX a downtick today. This is interesting. VIX was down, and still managing the bottom here. Dixie downtick today as well. So Dixie goes down. I believe bond yield is over, because Dixie already broken the neckline. So this is very, very important. And this ascending head and shoulder breakthrough. So it can go down here to 101, even touching this bottom here. So we will see how it goes. Moving on to magma indicator, coming down today, and after hours it took more head. Apple just a surge to the upside, but coming down as well after hours. So managed positive, but very sloppy and choppy. Amazon managed it negative. I can't go through above. Meta goes down 2.70% to the downside, gap down, and sellers took control the entire session. Microsoft dollar down as well. Google 50 cents down. Netflix $5 down. Everything goes down except Tesla. Tesla managed positive, but gap down and managed positive. I believe that this is kind of like a reaction to this broken trend line. If it goes down, this means Tesla is still in trouble. Semiconductor index at $3.43 up. So the only reason Nasdaq was positive was semis today, especially Nvidia and the Taiwan Semiconductor. SMH $3.43 up, rejection from this wide range bar. I believe that this is kind of like a typical reaction. Stocks, the same pattern here, even more rejection to the downside after hours. Taiwan Semiconductor, $2.85 up. AMD goes down, can't manage it positive, but NVIDIA managed positive, but very sloppy again. Goes through to middle of this wide range bar, coming down, rejected nicely. Texas Instruments managed it to kind of like a double top here, even goes above yesterday high, but shooting a star at the top. So this is neat, that if we see a follow through on the downside, I should say this one is in problem. Lamb Research, a positive, goes to middle of this wide range bar again, coming down. Very technical reaction. XLF, which is financials, goes higher, so that's why Dow was firing as well. So it goes to new all-time high. KBE, 13 cents up, actually breakthrough nicely, but the doji bar after 3 days surge, this is kind of like a pause. KRE, the same here, even after hours, it took more head. JP Morgan coming down, gap down, but managed positive, then negative. So it was kind of like very confused. Goldman Sachs, 65 cents up today. Bank of America, 21 cents down. Wells Fargo, $3.62 down. Look at that. So 6% down, almost going all the way down here, while earning was positive. Technical pattern was positive. Everything was positive, but market didn't like it. So this is kind of like a weird, and when you get a bad reaction from good news, this is kind of like a very warning, specifically in Q2. GDX gold miners hit positive today, 8 cents up. GDXJ 18 cents negative. AEM 50 cents positive. Newmont 34 cents positive today. Great reaction for them. Franco-Nevada goes positive, fantastic move. $1.66 up. I believe Franco-Nevada can go higher. As I said, gold miners are gonna outperform gold price. Why? The cycle. Look at my video up there. Um, Gold Barrick 39 cents up. Great search for gold Barrick. Great move. So this one can go higher as well. Moving on to XLE, which is a energy spider, 23 cents up today, but the pattern is positive overall. I should say if crude gets back down, they're gonna go back down as well. So XOP 27 cents positive, hitting to the higher trend line, still cannot break through. OIH actually goes up today. So managed breakout, but it's not that strong. So we will see on Monday. Exxon 2 cents up, Chevron 33 cents up as well. Still, they're kind of like a struggling for breakout or a drop to fail to the lower low. All right, I believe I covered everything. This is kind of like a very comprehensive video. If you like this video, please smash the like button and put your comments, questions down below, because that's going to help me. What's going to be your idea and how I can improve my video in the future. Have a fantastic evening and weekend. See you on the chart. Bye-bye.